We can start with Demetrius.
Hey Trey, obviously the first 5 weeks of the season went pretty well. Just in terms of the last 2 weeks, how do you sort of prevent yourselves from panicking, just the losses from the two good teams?
Like, I wouldn't even say prevent ourselves from panicking. It's just like everybody in this building knows what we have to go into this bye week to work on, to fix, and the things that kept us from winning those games the last 2 weeks. We just have to stay positive, stay together, and potentially build on what we've been building ever since we started in OTAs.
What do you think, the as far as the defense is concerned, what do you guys have to do coming out of the bye week to sort of improve? What's the biggest things that you think need to improve in order to have success?
Personally, like I say, just continuously stick together and buy into the plan as far as what the coaches give us throughout the game, throughout the week, and just go out there and execute, do our job. Everybody has to look deep down inside and just continuously improve on ourselves individually, and then come together collectively as a defense to execute the play calls and things of that nature.
Appreciate it, Trey.
Jamal, followed by D-Rock.
How's the wrist and club treating you?
Hey, it's treating me lovely. I'm still living and breathing. That's all I can ask for.
The bye week this week, is this a almost like a bad timing for the bye week? Because I mean, the back-to-back losses, you got to kind of wait a little bit longer till you can get out there and kind of get back on the right foot, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad time, but obviously no one wants to go into a bye week coming off two losses like we had. But I think I think it'll be can be used in a positive way, just for the simple fact that we guys get healthy, things of that nature, and obviously we want to just continuously grow throughout this bye week. Probably get away for a little bit, refresh the minds, and come back with a healthier mindset on focused on leading into these last 10 weeks of the regular season.
Appreciate you, bro.
D-Rock, followed by Shipley.
Hey Trayvon, how much is that club limiting you? Especially since it's covering all your fingers, can't grab at all.
I mean. It's a club, so like you say, I can't really grab. That's the only thing that's really limiting me from doing. But other than that, I'm not complaining. Long as I can go out there, I got one hand, so I feel like that one hand does me enough. But I know I could be a lot better with both of my hands. I will say that.
How important is it for the pass rush to get home more in the second part of the season here?
It's very important. Obviously, we haven't been doing up to our standard, and that's something that we want to continuously improve on. So that's just something that we gotta hone in on. And like I said earlier, as long as we execute play calls and things of that nature, know what we're doing, be in the right spots at the right time, then I feel like on the back half of the regular season, that'll take care of itself.
And not able to get turnovers, I don't think the last two games there. How much does that make it harder when you're unable to really kind of give the offense some short fields to work?
It's very hard because obviously we want to put the offense in a good position to go down and score a good field position. But obviously the main thing is if you don't get takeaways and don't win the takeaway margin, then 9 times out of 10 you're gonna struggle with coming out with the win.
And one more thing for me, the continual mistakes that you guys make, the little mistakes, as Coach Cohen says, beating yourselves. I mean, how frustrating is it that this team can't seem to get past that at this point?
Um, I wouldn't say it's frustrating, obviously, because the way I look at it is still early in the season. Like you say, we're going into a bye week now, so it's time for us to just take a little step back, and as we go into this bye week and observe all the things that we potentially made those same mistakes on, and just try our best not to make those same mistakes over again.
Thanks, bud.
Shipley.
Hey Trayvon, thanks for doing this. Just Liam's message to us kind of yesterday was just that you guys still have the whole season obviously ahead of you. Doesn't want to make any wholesale changes. I mean, is that just kind of the way you guys are seeing it as well? You just still have a lot of football in front of you, and everything you guys want to do is still kind of there.
Yeah, it's not always about how you start, but it's about how you finish. Like we got 10 weeks left of the regular season, and we're going to go out there and make the best of all 10 of these games.
Thanks, Trayvon.
We can start with Demetrius, followed by Ryan O'Halloran.
Hey Robert, when you look at this team, what do you think is sort of holding you guys back from being more consistent?
I mean, the things that show up obviously are the penalties, just those operational errors, um, operation penalties, missed assignments. Those are all things that are super controllable as a group and as individuals. And penalties, mental errors, they're going to show up. It's just the nature of the game. But when you compound those with having to play really good teams and really, what's this? What's this still? I don't know. When you compound that with having to play really good teams and really good players, where you're battling technique wise all the time, like everyone's going to get beat at some point. Um, that's just how this game works. Everyone's good, and you're competing and you're battling. So, but when you add all those up, it becomes way too many, and you just the negatives just decrease your chances of continuing drives and scoring on drives by astronomical numbers every time you get one. So every time you have a negative play, you're really fighting an uphill battle, even if it just is one. It might not seem it's only one play, but it almost kills that drive statistically.
Sure. Yeah. And just in saying that, how do you sort of prevent yourselves from panicking, just given over the last couple of weeks and sort of how it's turned out?
Yeah, I mean, it's not panicking. That's definitely not the feeling.
Mhm.
Because if you look at where we're at, 4-3 going into the bye week, 10 games left, and haven't even sniffed our best football. We have so much to look forward to and so much improvement to make. And us making that improvement and as individuals, as an offensive group, as a defensive group, and as a team as a whole is what's going to dictate how the rest of the season goes. But you're not trying to reinvent the wheel. You're not trying to do anything crazy. It's just where can you find those advantages on a daily basis in practice, in the meetings, in the film that is going to elevate your play as an individual, which in turn elevates the play as a group.
Thank you.
Hmm.
O'Halloran, followed by Jamal.
Robert Ryan O'Halloran from the Times Union. I got two for you. On the pass protection issues, the last two games, granted you weren't in the first game. Is it guys losing their matchup on the play, or does the communication need to be honed in on?
I think it's technique. It's getting on the same level, playing together. I mean, it's first of all unacceptable, and it's something that we need to address and improve upon. So as a group, it's up to us in our room to make sure that we are doing everything we can to prevent those things from happening. We know we're going to get games. We know they're going to line up in their giant fronts and their heavy fronts and give us twists in games, especially on third down. So when you're in that situation a lot, they get the opportunity to tee off. So making the run game go early on, from an offensive line perspective, doing everything we can, executing there so we can stay out of those third and longs, those obvious pass situations where you know that stuff's coming because it's not the easiest thing to pass off, but being extremely prepared for when they do come up because at some point in the game, it's going to happen.
And last for me is in times of adversity, like the last couple of weeks, how does Liam come across to the team as being honest but not sounding overly negative?
Yeah, I think his honesty is not overly negative because there is negative that shows up, but there's a hell of a lot of positive too. So when you're being honest and honestly evaluating, and he looks at it, he can look at us and honestly say, "Hey, we need to clean this shit up." But we've done some really good things, and when we're playing at our best, we're a very hard team to beat. That's the honest truth. How we clean them up, like that's like I was saying, that's us individuals improving to elevate the level of the team.
Robert.
Jamal.
Robert, the timing of the bye week. I know you guys probably had two games in a row that you wanted to get back. I mean, do you feel like this is good timing because it gives you a little time to clean it up, or is it a long bye week because now you're kind of chomping at the bit? You got to wait another week before you can go out there and do it.
Um, I think in general, like the bye week when it comes is one of those things that's out of your control. So you got to roll with it. I've had later bye weeks. I've had super early bye weeks, and sometimes it almost never feels like it's a good time because there's always something you want to be working on. But nonetheless, regardless of where you're at, like where we're at, coming off those last two games that for sure we want to improve upon, how can we make this the most productive week possible as players and coaches? Take our time, reflect, figure out what we're going to really want to do when we get back in here next week and be ready to hit it hard because we got a long stretch coming up of good games that our improvement is going to make a huge difference in.
You were in Tampa with Liam last year. You learned this offense last year. Are there any similarities to like the growing pains you're seeing in Jacksonville to maybe some of the stuff you saw last year with Tampa?
Um, Maybe a little bit. I'd have to maybe think about it more, but it's always every season you could play the same with the same group for 5 seasons in a row, and you'd have growing pains, quote unquote, every year, and they're always gonna be slightly different. Since you're always trying to, we're all going back to the same basics, their fundamentals, fundamentally sound, situational masters, um, attacking and tough. Like those are the things we got to be. When it comes to the scheme and how things are rolling, there's throughout the throughout the rest of the season, throughout the playoffs, the postseason, you're always constantly improving. So and constantly trying to improve. So I think it's very individualized as what things are going to come up for every team in the league because there's not a single team who's not trying to fix something today. Does that make sense?
That's perfect. Appreciate you, Robert.
Mhm.
This will be our last one, D-Rock.
Hey, I got booted off, so apologies if Jamal asked this question already. But I'm just wondering, did you guys in Tampa last year have the same kind of issues early in the season in terms of the mistakes? Is that what he just asked you?
Yeah, that's what you just asked. Did you hear my
Okay.
answer, or do you want me to
Uh,
expand a
I
little?
just heard a short part of it, but if you answered it already, that's not a problem. I'll just get it off the transcript later. But I do have another question. Um, would you call this team, um, uh, a physically tough team still after the last 2 weeks? That was your identity
Absolutely.
the first 5 weeks. Has it
Yeah.
changed at all?
No, I mean, if you really watch the film and you watch how we play, like we play hard, we play tough, we play physically tough. And what I'm thinking that you're seeing is the last 2 games, how much obvious pass we've been in and how many times we've thrown the ball. And it's kind of it's you still have to play physical in the pass game, but from the outside looking in, when you think physicality, you think moving the line of scrimmage, running the ball. And when you don't get the run game going and you cannot we were excellent at early in the year that we've not regressed, we just haven't continued that standard, I think. And so getting back to that is important because that is our identity. And when you're playing like that, it's felt on the sideline, it's felt on the field, the other team feels it, and you can tell that they feel it, and that's how you wear your opponents down. Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Hmm.
This will actually be our last one. We can do one more quick one. John Shipley.
Hey, Robert, just, talking about starting fast, how important are those first downs, especially early in the game, for kind of setting the tone and putting you guys in those run situations?
Yeah, I mean, very. You really want to be able to get those first downs, establish the run, and make everyone feel confident in getting back to it. Going out 3 and out to start twice is not great because then all of a sudden you're down 14 points a bunch of times off the clock, and it's like, all right, now we got to establish the run, but we're already in a place where you have to play catch up. So starting fast, finishing strong. I mean, there's no point in the game where it's like, all right, we can chill here. That doesn't exist, but that's again something. Our first few weeks, we came off. We'd start with the ball, go down, score, and you getting that rhythm. It just gives you a lot of confidence going out to the next drives.
Thank you.